So if you spend any time online at all, you know the feeling. Your inbox, your DMs, they're just flooded with these promises of easy money from home, right? But you gotta ask, how much of it is actually real? Well, in this explainer, we are gonna cut right through all that noise. We're gonna show you what's a scam, and more importantly, where the real opportunities to earn an income online are today. Yeah, I'm willing to bet you have seen a message almost exactly like this. It just kind of slides into your texts or your DMs, and it looks a little too perfect, doesn't it? It usually starts with some kind of vague but, flattering introduction. Something like this, we saw your resume, remote position, 8 grand a month, training is only 3 days. Wow. The pay is just huge, the training is ridiculously short, and honestly, it feels like the exact solution you've been waiting for. These guys are absolute masters at making it sound so easy and so accessible.
Okay, so it is absolutely crucial to understand the massive gap between that tempting message and what is, frankly, often a dangerous reality. We are going to break down the entire playbook for these schemes, and then we'll pivot and look at the legitimate, skill-based ways people are actually building an income online.
All right, first things first, let's tackle the biggest myth of them all. And that's this idea that you can get rich just from doing simple, repetitive tasks. This copy-paste dream, it's an incredibly powerful marketing tool, not just for scammers, but for a lot of these low-value platforms too.
And here is the hard truth for 2026 and beyond. If a job, any job, can be boiled down to just copying and pasting, a machine, an AI, can and absolutely will do it cheaper and faster. It's just simple economics. And that reality means any human job that's simple is going to pay next to nothing or, and this is far more likely, it's not a real job at all.
So if those jobs aren't real, then what are they? Well, it is time to peel back the curtain on the modern scammer's playbook. Trust me, once you see the formula, you'll be able to spot these things from a mile away.
It really is the classic bait and switch. On one hand, they promise you the absolute world, right? Guaranteed high income, total remote freedom. But the reality? It's always just a collection of giant red flags. They're super vague on the details, they always want you to pay for something up front, and they insist on using these insecure apps like WhatsApp or Telegram for official business. Come on.
And look, this is not some small niche problem. We're talking about $470 million. That's how much people lost to text-based scams in 2024 alone. This is organized crime, pure and simple, and it is incredibly profitable for the people running these schemes.
So what exactly should you be looking for? Okay, here are the big telltale signs. Vague job descriptions, pay that is just way out of line with the market, a weird insistence on using messaging apps, and here's the big one, any request for you to pay them to get a job. Let me be clear, real employers pay you. You do not pay them. Also, keep an eye out for just bad grammar and companies pretending to be big, well-known brands.
One of the most common schemes out there is something called a task scam, and it's sneaky. They'll actually pay you a tiny bit of money for doing really simple things like liking a video or writing a quick review, and that right there is how they build your trust. But the moment you try to withdraw any real amount of money, suddenly you're told you have to pay an upgrade fee or a tax, and that fee just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The money you put in? Yeah, it's gone for good.
Okay, let's look at a real-world example. There's this platform called Clickly. It promises to pay you for sending emails. Sounds okay, right? Well, here's the problem. Users report there's a $300 payment threshold that is pretty much impossible to hit unless you first buy credits from them. And get this, when you finally try to withdraw your so-called earnings, you have to pay another fee of at least $97. It is absolutely no surprise their trust score is a dismal 1.7, with reports of over $1 million in unpaid commissions.
All right, so we've talked a lot about how AI is automating all this low-skill work away. But you know what? That is only half the story. The other half, the much more exciting half, is all about how you can use AI as a tool to dramatically increase your own value.
This right here is the fundamental divide in the digital economy today. You've got automation on one side, that's AI replacing a human. But on the other, you have augmentation. And that's a human using AI to do their job better, faster, and way more effectively. It's really about being the pilot, not just a passenger along for the ride.
Look, just hitting the generate button in some AI tool, that's not a skill. Not anymore. But knowing how to prompt it correctly, knowing how to verify its output, and then integrate that into a really complex workflow, now that is a highly valuable service.
So what do these high-value skills actually look like in practice? Well, it's not just data entry anymore, it's managing a complex CRM migration. It's not just writing, it's using sophisticated prompt engineering to draft that initial content. And then, and this is key, using your human expertise to fact-check it, to correct the AI's errors, those hallucinations where it just makes stuff up, and add a truly unique voice. This is where the real money is being made.
Okay, so we've torn down the scams and we've talked about getting into the right mindset. Now let's get into the good stuff. Let's look at 3 legitimate, proven business models that people are using to build real, sustainable income streams online right now.
First up is dropshipping. And the appeal here is super obvious, right? You can run a whole e-commerce store with very low startup costs because you never have to buy any inventory up front. But, and it's a big but, here's the reality check. Your main job is marketing. You have to become an expert at finding an ease product and then driving traffic with ads or content. Because trust me, the competition is fierce.
Next up, we have affiliate marketing. And this one is built on one thing: trust. It's all about creating genuinely helpful content. We're talking good product reviews, tutorials, useful comparisons, and then you earn a commission when your audience buys something through your link. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a long game. Your success here depends completely on building a loyal audience that truly believes in what you recommend.
And finally, there's a really modern one, the AI automation agency. Think about it. Businesses are absolutely desperate to automate their repetitive tasks, but most of them have no idea how to do it. So using simple no-code tools, you can come in and build systems that save them a ton of time and money. The cool part here is you're not just some tech person, you're a problem solver. You are selling a high-value solution to a very specific and very expensive business pain point.
So let's just quickly compare these 3. Dropshipping, you're earning by marking up a product, and your main skill is marketing. Affiliate marketing, you're earning commissions, and your skill is building trust. The AI automation agency, you're earning setup fees and retainers, and your skill is analyzing business processes. You see the common thread here? The key takeaway is that they all require real skills and real work. None of them are just copy-paste.
So, regardless of which model you choose, or even if you pick something else entirely, the underlying theme is exactly the same. You have to make the shift from being a consumer to being a producer of value.
There's this really powerful, maybe even provocative idea that the wealthiest people tend to value production way more than they value consumption. And whether you agree with that or not, it holds a critical truth about our digital economy today. The real opportunities aren't in just scrolling and consuming content or doing simple tasks. They are in producing something of value that people are actually willing to pay for.
So what's your path forward from here? Well, first, shift your focus. Stop looking for easy hacks and start thinking about providing a specialized service. Second, use AI as your helper, as your assistant, but you always have to be the expert who verifies and perfects its work. And third, adopt a zero-trust policy. Be skeptical of every offer. Verify every single potential employer. And just remember this one rule. You should never, ever have to pay money to earn money. Period.
And really, that's the big question I want to leave you with. In a world of ever-improving AI and automation, what is the value that only a human can add? Seriously, think about that. Your ability to answer that question, whether your answer is creativity or empathy or critical thinking or building trust, that is the true key to building real, lasting success online.